Look out for how the Connexus office finish. Hi, good morning. My name is Roy. Let me show you another episode of Connexus Studio. So today I'm going to show you the work in progress. As you can see, these are going to be a big corridor. So if you look at this condition, currently we are in 70% of the work and I'm left with 30% of the finishing. Right? Pay attention to the details of this floor here. Right? In fact, this area here is going to be a raised floor, but we actually lowered down the raised floor in order to put in all these tiles for the leveling. As you can see on to my right, a lot of all these MEP services like electrical cabling, plumbing and all that, these are all the pre-laid, pre-installed for future of the pantry area, right? So come on in. And moving forward to here, these are the area whereby we are going to have the elevated staging. As you can see, there's a sprinkler pipe coming up, protruding through the floors. For compliance wise, we need to cover it with fire protections, right? And of course, you can see that this large area just right above me, okay, they are all the ceiling area. Previously, they are all tiles, and we actually open it up, okay? And allow my colleague later to explain more about all this detailing for you later. Onto my left, you can see that the joinery works of all this carpentry is already completed. Just right behind me, okay, is going to be a boardroom. Just watch out about this area here, okay? We actually barricade this space here, all right? If you look at the floor, okay, we actually open up this area here. Look forward to something that's going to be built up this area. There's a two different level if you notice from where I'm standing here and inside the boardroom floor. We actually lowered down the floor due to the different finishes of the flooring. Okay, we actually need to compensate the differences of the difference of the material. So we actually lowered down it by about 24 mm. Let me show you this, right? As you can see, there's a lot of side marking that we have done previously, all right? Look at this marking. They actually determine where is the position of each cluster of table. Not only that, we also have to determine things like the SOB, all right? Where are they going to be situated, right? As you can see, there's two different kind of bunches of cable here. Some of them, they are electrical cables. Some of them, they are data cables, all right? We have to actually determine them and pre-lay at all these locations. Look at all this marking, okay, the red color marking and all this masking tape. This is whereby the protrusion will come through and entering to the system furniture into the table. And if you look at up here, all right, this area here, okay, all this pre-marking of all the lighting point, sprinkler point, aircon point, they are actually reflected onto this marking here as well. Right, so as you can see, it's all been clearly determined, planned with all this area here, individual position, they are very important. As you can see here, these are all the aircon that we have actually created, right? This ceiling used to be a grid ceiling. Based on our design, we open them up and we put this feature here. If you notice from this flooring here, there are actually a drops between this level and this level. Before we install, we have to determine what kind of floor finishes they are. So in order to compensate the differences, we have to do some underlay, prepare the flooring so that when the carpet comes in, they're actually level with the vinyl. As you can see, that there is a 2 square. This is important because of the maintenance of the air conditioning services. There are actually a VAV box above this ceiling area here. It's actually meant for maintenance and all that. These are 2 rooms that we have actually built. Okay, one of them with the white doors, they are going to be so-called storage and server room. Right. As for this itself, look at this frame. Okay, currently we are going to build it glazing system here. Okay, what is going to be missing right now is about the glass itself. The frame is all being installed. We are moving into the finishing of all these finishes. Looking back, as you can see, this is all the back office area, right? So we have about all this carpentry work, the primary carpentry work, they are all finishing here. And I'm going to show you something that is going to be very interesting. This is what we have actually designed for all the lockers. Alright, these lockers currently they are not complete yet. If you look into all this area here, we actually provide a lot of all this intersection area here. What are they going to be meant for? It's actually meant for a lot of cabling work because we are going to provide smart lockers. Every individual coming in together with your face recognition. Let me show you some detailing about the ceiling feature design. Original, when we take over the place, these are all the ceiling tiles by default, right? We decided to bring up all this area here that you can see above here. Okay, why do we want to lift this up? Reason is we want to higher up the whole main corridor, so when you're entering, you can find that the space is going to be much more larger. But before we come to this area here, we are actually being troubled or being so-called determined by this main ducting. This main ducting entering from the AHU room behind me, supplying all the aircon throughout the office. So in our design development, we decided to have this area here being exposed, okay, uplifting the rest of the area here. So as you come through here, okay, you can see a lot of M&E services that cut through from this AHU room all the way out. So these are the area also that we need to consider about the aesthetic. How are we going to treat them and paint them eventually into what you've seen today. Likewise, I mentioned about all these M&E services. Okay, I have my colleagues Harry. They're going to tell you more about what are all the M&E services that we have to pre-plan, pre-arrange before what we have derived today.
Hi, I'm Harry. I'm in charge for M&E in Connexus. So today I'll explain to you about M&E system for our new office. For every project, we need two most important things. One is a fit-out guide to understand building management requirement. Example, where we can tap our electrical supply, where we can get water supply, and also the water discharge. Second thing is M&E split drawing to understand the current M&E system and how we utilize this existing M&E system for our design. So first, there is two existing ducting here. One is a supply duct and one is a return duct. A lot of people they have misunderstanding, like you can get a cool air doesn't mean it's a good aircon system. Good aircon system is well distributed air and also well circulated air, meaning whatever supply to the whole office area need to be returned to the AHU. This time will be like 6 to 8 times per hour. It's a good circulation air. So at the existing ducting here, if you see, the return duct actually is just stopped above the cabinet here. So meaning the air in the meeting room at the last corner here might not be returned to this AHU room. So what you get, meaning like you can feel the cold air, but you feel like a stuffiness inside there. So what we did, we extend this return duct to the ceiling here. So we treat this ceiling as a big plenum to ensure the air from the meeting room behind is circulated back to the AHU room and supply back to the whole area. Hi, welcome to our boardroom, the most challenging part of the whole project. So why challenging? If you see the detailing of the ceiling here, there will be a lot of coordination between my side, M&E side, and also carpentry side. And my colleague Glen will explain to you about the carpentry later on. So for my part, the first thing we need to mark on the side is sprinkler point. Make sure it's a compliance to the authority. Then the rest will be followed, like where we can put the lighting. Me and Glen also spent about 6 weeks in the discussion, the detailing, where we put the sprinkler, where we put the lighting, and the aircon. And we do a floor marking, which is we did revision like 4 or 5 times to make sure everything is okay before they do the mock-up here. So Glen, you want to tell us your ceiling detail?
Sure. So the most challenging part for this room is actually it's very detailed, it's very intricate, and most of the detailing falls onto the 3 elevations as well, and with the ceiling itself as a main centerpiece. So you can see the curvatures and all this actually goes all the way down onto each elevation. So we need to make sure that all the alignments are in place, and to factor in the M&E as well, their requirements. We had quite a few discussions to make sure that we have enough gappings and things like that for all the M&E services to come down as well. So as you can see, it's a very intricate project, especially this room itself. You can see the grains of the laminates. We try to match it vertically and horizontally as well, just to make it aesthetically pleasing. And we have a trophy display as well, which we will have lightings and things like that to showcase our trophies. So all this has to be coordinated with our suppliers which supplies the acrylics and the lightings as well to make sure that we have a great display here. And back to you on the M&E.
Especially for the sprinkler here, because the distance is a precise. The sprinkler also is a standard size. So we did a discussion how we put in a sprinkler itself is actually larger than the the space given here. So we really did a discussion. We bring the we are using flexible pipe because to be like a zero error for the precise position. He did bring a mock-up. Then we discussed how we put in the sprinkler to be like in flush with the ceiling. Okay, let me explain about M&E system here. So this whole office, as I mentioned earlier, is supplied by one main duct from the other side. So the main duct is running through this center portion here. So this one, if you see this little box here, the whole system here will be under VAV box, meaning it's controlled by the building BMS system. So we did discuss with building management to change from VAV to CAV, means it's constant air volume. Okay, so what we did, we dismantled the part of the big duct running through the center here to make it neat and clear. And also we run a duct here. If you see, this is a supply aircon. So we did a supply aircon here, and also if you see on the wall here, on top here, we distributed the air equally also. So if you come here, another thing, the most important for this project, this building is under green mark, so we need to comply with lighting power budget. Besides, when we design all the lighting, we need to ensure the lighting is above the workstation. Okay, all the lighting is just above the workstation, and the corridor here you can't see any lighting, so we can meet a lighting power budget requirement based on the building requirement.
So let me elaborate to you how do we derive the 12 weeks construction period. Mainly break into 3 segments. We're talking about the first segment, the preparation. Okay, this preparation stage, we are preparing for all the reflector ceiling plan. We are doing the site marking onto the site, push up all the M&E services that is related for our construction. That is in the very first part. The second part, mainly we are building up the floor finishes and also the joinery, whereby you can see those behind me. These are the second part of all the construction, finishing it up. And of course, to the last part is to install all the M&E services, plus the testing and commissioning. In short, we call them the T&C. As I mentioned earlier on, the last 4 weeks of testing and commissioning, that involving in terms of the server room, setting up the server, transferring whatever data that you have from the current office to the new office, and doing all the kind of firewalls, programming, and prepare for the staff to come in. So this period of time, we require about 4 weeks in terms of the timeline to have the testing and commissioning to complete. So with all this put up together with 3 different stages, 4 weeks of each stage, and that will be able to us to complete the whole 12 weeks of construction period. Stay tuned to see how our new office turn out. See you, bye!